Tidwell.
Who would you lie for?
You
This ain't the Bible.
are not his
I
father.
got a rifle. Don't ever fuck with me.
Oh, just Ron, get her.
I got it. Nobody's there for me.
We're all here. We're all here.
I'm
not gonna leave you.
If you ever wanted to know why red pill content or manosphere or masculine content is getting so much traction, that video you just saw is the reason why. Notice how, the man is the one who got cheated on. And this woman who cheated on this man led this man to believe for years that he was the father of that child. And this man is literally in tears to find out that it's all been a lie. And everybody goes comforted the woman. You see, men like this exist all over the world. And they need a place too to vent and to voice their concerns. Now, let me qualify everything I'm saying by saying this, right? I don't consider myself, part of the manosphere. I'm not red pill, blue pill. I'm about this gospel. Bars. No, but seriously, I'm about this gospel. And with that being said, I still see the importance of a space dedicated for men to be actually able to just let it all out. Because this is extremely sad. It is extremely sad because I just can't understand how this man could be deceived to such a degree, but society is designed to pamper the woman. And this is the reason why when you hear issues like, what the feminists are bringing up, it's laughable, because it's just like they have all these complaints about how things are not fair. But is this not the absolute uttermost disrespect? I mean, to literally cheat on your partner. To cheat on your partner. Committing adultery. Is that not one of the ultimate forms of disrespect? Especially in marriages. But the man, I guess he's supposed to just be strong. And he's not supposed to show any emotion. Which that man, I really commend him. He was shedding tears, but for the most part, he was trying his best to remain stoic. He was trying his best to hold frame. And I don't blame him for letting a few tears out. I mean, if any of you are actually in an actual marriage, you will know that it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort. Anybody that tells you marriage is easy, in my personal opinion, I think they just lying to you. It takes a lot of effort. Is it a beautiful thing to partake in? In my personal opinion, I do believe so, if both parties are actually in their roles. But it takes a lot of work. When you have children, it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of times you losing sleep just having to deal with a child that's restless. You losing sleep, so you got to cater to the child. And that the child didn't ask to be here. So you better do your part and take care of that child. You better not bitch, moan, or complain, right? So just think about you spending all these years invested into a child that doesn't even belong to you. Could you imagine how many times where, which is part of human nature, you're going to make mistakes, right? You're going to fall short. Could you imagine how many times this man probably fell short and that woman probably, guilt shamed him, or, resorted to name calling, or did whatever she had to do, in order to try to manipulate the situation and try to make him feel guilty for not taking care of that child. And lo and behold, the child was never his.
Oh, hell no.
That is so painful, guys. And the fact that nobody went to comfort him, it just goes to show you the society that we live in. So this is why, you know, bump that shit. Bump that shit. I don't want to hear nothing about, you know, these feminists talking about how things are not fair and they talking about equality. Look, society as a whole have always catered to women and children. It is very clear. That's the reason why when we go to war, we send out men. We literally are telling men that your lives are the least valuable and we value the lives of children and women. I'm not here to complain about that, by the way. I'm here to actually just say that as a matter of a fact. And that because it is evident, despite what women want to bitch and complain about, let's actually look at the facts here. If men are the ones that's dying on the front lines to protect the country, right? They're the ones that are dying when they go to war to ensure that women and children are protected and provided for, that your liberties are provided for. Then we got to get to a point where we really just shut the hell up and stop complaining, women in particular, stop complaining because men finally have a space to vent. And I actually believe venting for both men and women, I actually do believe it's important if there's a solution that's going to back up this venting. I don't believe in venting just for the sake of venting. I do believe in, you know, not keeping things bottled up. You know, maybe you have a brother or a sister or a friend that you could confide in, and, you know, you should be able to vent, let it all out. Because, you know, pain is a very real thing. Emotional and physical, whatever, psychological, pain is a very real thing, and you need to, it's not healthy to just keep it bottled up. But when you do vent, what are the solutions? Well, this is what a lot of men, again, I don't necessarily agree of the solutions that some red pills content comes to. I don't necessarily agree with all, you know, the solutions that the Manosphere content creators come up to, but it is a solution they are trying to provide men. And this is the reason why, you know, I really do believe that women who have an issue with all the red pill content and the masculine content, I do believe that too is a heightened sense of selfishness. Because meanwhile, women always had platforms. You have The View, you got all the, I don't even know. There's so much places for women to just, you know, talk about their feelings and emotions. But then when men finally have a place to let it all out, they, again, women resort to, as Kevin Samuels would say, sign language. Shame, insult, guilt, and name calling. They resort to sign language. All so that they could deter men from actually gathering together and being able to voice their concerns. It's really selfish. Now again, in my personal opinion, I believe that the true solution lies within the Bible. I believe that's the only true long-lasting solution that people should derive to or come up to, because, I should have said come up to, because, you know, I don't believe in a space where men, you know, try to just devalue or demean or just put down women. But I also don't agree with women coming to the conclusion that they should demean and put down and talk bad about the man. So you see, there's like this gender war, which I just don't understand. The Bible doesn't even speak like this. The Bible, I mean, it's crazy. The Bible does not even speak this way. I don't know what it is about, you know, men versus women and women versus men. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in just sticking to the book. Now, again, with that being said, the Bible still has an order. There's still an order. The man is the head of the household. Women, you are to obey and submit. You get what I'm saying? If you take issue with what I'm saying right now, then I am not your enemy. You simply do not love God, the Bible, Jesus Christ, period, point blank. So I'm not going to even be offended. You go fight, go scream and holler at the wind. But it's crazy. I don't understand why people are just trying so hard to operate outside of their roles. But getting back on track, I think it's a complete travesty that you have this man that was deceived for so long. I can't even fathom raising a child that is not my own. Don't get me wrong. Let me just, clarify this, right? If you enter the relationship knowing that the child is not your own, then, okay, that's a different story. You get what I'm saying? I think it takes a strong man to do that. But don't deceive a man and make him think that that child is his. You get what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know how many resources he spent on another man's child? How many sleepless nights? And most importantly, which is what I think a lot of people just don't focus on, what about the emotional connection, the soul tie? The soul tie is very real, guys. You see, that's the one thing about, that's why I don't really consider myself a red pill, even though some of my content may, be parallel or it might, correlate at times. But the reason why I don't agree with any of these things outside of the Bible, because they do not give you spiritual solutions. What about the soul ties? That whenever you engage in these relationships, in this case, you build a relationship with a child. You naming the child, you feeding the child, you bringing the child on play dates, you doing all this stuff for this child. That child ends up loving you, calling you daddy, father. You get what I'm saying? Playing with you. I mean, even the little thing, the child is drooling you. You hear you wiping off the slob of that child. That child begging you, oh, please, daddy, can I get this? Can I get that? And you just, it's pulling on your heartstrings and you just like, fine, here you go. Can you imagine the soul ties that's involved in raising a child? Man, I'm seeing myself, I'm starting to get even annoyed thinking about it, because I just don't think women really think this through. Yeah, this man got the truth, which is that's the first part to healing. But this man is going to have to go through some serious spiritual deliverance to be set free, because that is a pain. That is a pain that goes deeper than just a fleshly wound. This man is going to literally need some spiritual deliverance to help him heal in totality. Man, this is crazy. You guys, if this message, if you found any value in this message today, please like, subscribe, and please share in particular. Share. Maybe there's a man that needs to hear this. Maybe there's some women too that need to hear this. That need to understand that they should not be touring around with men's emotion and stop attacking men just because they want to find a space to just vent and come to solutions as to why they feel like they are getting the short end of the stick. Anyway, guys, with that being said, Nick over and out. The message sent. Jesus is King.